What's up my peeps, it is now time for the SmackDown results / highlights and review video. I'll go over the results, some of the highlights in my opinion, and give you guys my thoughts, my review on the show. So it kicks off with the Shield coming out, and Dean Ambrose cuts a promo. Well, actually, the entire Shield cuts a promo, they all talk. But Dean Ambrose starts off first, going over the talk about how the Shield's starting to have problems, it's crumbling, they're not on the same page, this and that. And then, after saying something like, the Shield is not, there's no dissension in the Shield, or something along those lines, he gives the microphone to Roman Reigns, or actually before he does, he says, right, and then Roman Reigns grabs it and says, right, or you're perfectly right. And then Roman Reigns talks about the whole weakest link thing, and while he's talking about it, he's looking at Dean Ambrose, but then he says when it comes to weakest link, there is none in the Shield. And then he gives the microphone to Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins says any, setbacks the Shield has, they're only temporary, and they're gonna get over it, and they end the promo by saying, believe in the Shield. And then the Usos come out for a tag team match. It's the Usos versus Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. I mean, it was an okay match. The thing is, though, I don't even know if I would consider it like a full matchup. Like a match I would rate, because it seemed more like a setup for the main event than, an actual matchup, because right when it was about to get exciting, right when the Usos were going to jump from inside the ring to the outside on both Seth and Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, who was on commentary the entire matchup, gets off the announcer's table, or the chair, and grabs one of the Usos' leg, pulls him out of the ring, and then all hell breaks loose. They all fight inside the ring until CM Punk comes in for the save, helps out the Usos. They all throw the other members of the Shield out of the ring, and then Vickie Guerrero comes out, and once they come back from the break, they show what happened during the break, and that was Vickie Guerrero announcing a 6-man tag team match for the main event of SmackDown, the Usos and CM Punk versus the Shield. Right afterwards, Fandango was out, and then R-Truth came out with Xavier Woods. It was R-Truth versus Fandango, Xavier Woods on commentary, and Fandango started taking control of the matchup, and Xavier Woods all of a sudden is like, alright, I'm tired of this, and then he gets on the announcer's table, just like he did on Raw, and tells the funkadactyls to come out. So they come out to their music, which distracts Fandango. That distraction allows R-Truth to hit the little Jimmy, cover Fandango, and win the match. After the match, they all dance, and that is it for that. And then they show a replay of Raw, showing the events that happened in the main event where Bray Wyatt, or Daniel Bryan, joined the Wyatt family. So that was a tag team championship match, Cody Rhodes and Goldust defending their titles against the Wyatt family, Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. They came out without Bray Wyatt though. Bray Wyatt nor Daniel Bryan were there. And this was a pretty good matchup, and I really liked the ending, because the ending was unexpected. It wasn't your typical ending to a tag team match. And by that I mean, I'm not saying every single tag team match ends the same. No, what I'm saying is, well, it's kind of what I'm saying, but not really. You see, usually a tag team match will end, somebody gets a hot tag towards the end of the match, and then he starts picking up some momentum, maybe hits a finish on the guy in the ring, covers him, but then the other guy interrupts the pin, and then his the partner of the guy getting the cover helps him out, takes him out of the ring, and then eventually the match ends. But in this case, it wasn't like that. You see, towards the end of the match, by the way, like throughout the entire matchup, Luke Harper and Eric Rowan were really dominant in the match. And in the end, Cody Rhodes hits a moonsault. You had Luke Harper trying to go for a back suplex from the top turnbuckle on Cody, but Cody took him off and then hit the moonsault. And then, he's about to tag in Goldust, and he doesn't get to Goldust in time. Actually, Eric Rowan gets tagged in, and right before Cody can, tag in Goldust, he Irish whips Cody towards the ropes, and that's like the opposite ropes. The ropes that are opposite to Goldust, who's on the apron. and he tries to go for a clothesline on Cody. Cody ducks, and then when he bounces off the ropes that are on Goldust's side, Goldust tags himself in. Eric Rowan doesn't see that, so when Cody comes bouncing back, Eric Rowan goes for an elbow. Cody ducks that, but then he catches Cody Rhodes with a backdrop. Now Goldust quickly gets in the ring and pushes Eric Rowan from behind towards the ropes, rolls him up, gets a 1, 2, 3, a quick 3 count. Well, not a quick 3 count, but a surprise roll up, gets the 3 count, and Cody and Goldust win the matchup. So I like that. I like that ending, and I like the matchup. So yeah, and the matchup lasted like 12, 13 minutes long. You had Luke Harper hit his sit-out powerbomb. And I'm wondering if he's going to be using that, still using that when Batista comes back. You know, seeing as how Batista also, his finisher is a sit-out powerbomb, while Luke Harper uses the sit-out powerbomb, but he doesn't use it as a finisher. He doesn't win matches with it, or at least he hasn't won a match with it yet. After that, Renee Young interviews Big E Langston, and she wishes him luck against his match tonight against Curtis Axel. But then she talks about Mark Henry and what he feels about what happened to him. And Big E Langston says, Mark Henry, when he answered Brock Lesnar's challenge, he was looking for a wrestling match, not a brawl, or not a street fight. And before he could say anything else, Curtis Axel interrupts, and he's laughing, and he says, "Oh, sorry, excuse me, Big E. I'm not laughing about Mark Henry and what happened to him." But then he says the truth, and he's like, "All right, that is what I'm laughing about." And he keeps laughing. Big E Langston says that after he's done with him tonight, Curtis Axel won't be laughing anymore. After that, it was Oksana versus Nikki Bella. Most of the matchup was dominated by Oksana, and Nikki Bella started picking up some momentum. And then Oksana picks up back the momentum, and she starts punching Nikki Bella in the corner, but the referee separates them, so she doesn't get disqualified. And then once he separates them, Oksana afterwards goes for a running attack on Nikki in the corner. Nikki gets out of the way and then picks up Oksana, hits her torture rack finisher, and wins the match. Following that, they showed the same video package they showed on Raw, the Randy Orton video package. And then, yeah, Big E Langston versus Curtis Axel. Match was around maybe, I think 5 minutes long, maybe no longer than that. Big E Langston went for the big ending twice. First time around, Curtis Axel kind of held on, and then he got on the apron, grabbed Big E's head, and sent him like throat first onto the ropes. He then gets back in the ring, but Big E Langston catches him with a clothesline, follows that up with the big ending, hits it this time, and wins the match. And then they showed a video. Well, actually, it was the video of Michael Cole interviewing Paul Heyman, where Paul Heyman explains why Brock is back. And then Bad News Barrett delivers some bad news, saying that the crowd is not gonna, accomplish their New Year's resolution, and they're gonna stay as unproductive as they are, and as fat as they are, I believe he said. And then was time for the main event, which is, once again, CM Punk and the Usos versus the Shield. Now, this was a pretty entertaining matchup. Nice match, and something that surprised me, one of the Usos hit Jeff Hardy's Whisper in the Wind. Well, it's not just Jeff Hardy's, but I was surprised when he hit that, because he never hit that move before. So that was pretty cool. He hit it on Roman Reigns while Roman Reigns was standing up. Eventually, CM Punk gets a hot tag. And throughout the whole match, Dean Ambrose was, selling the fact that he's mad at CM Punk, saying, he's a weak link. And he rages throughout the matchup. When he and Punk were like the two legal men, he was beating on Punk in the corner, and he grabbed his head and was like, I'm not, you're not better than me. But anyways, in the end of the match, Dean Ambrose had hit the butterfly suplex from the top turnbuckle on CM Punk. CM Punk kicked out, but CM Punk was still down. And at this point, Roman Reigns wanted to get the tag. But Dean Ambrose did not tag Roman Reigns in. Actually, didn't even see Roman Reigns wanted to get tagged in. But Roman Reigns was obviously yelling, tag me in, he's right there. But Dean Ambrose was focused on, beating Punk himself. So he doesn't tag in Roman Reigns. And then when he goes to pick CM Punk up, CM Punk hits him with a kick to the head. and then picks him up for to go to sleep, but CM Punk then sees Roman Reigns coming in to try and spear him, so he lets go of Dean Ambrose right in front of Roman Reigns, blocking Roman Reigns. So Reigns stops himself so he doesn't take down Ambrose. He pushes him out of the way, but then CM Punk kicks Reigns in the head, and then the Usos take Reigns out of the ring. CM Punk then backdrops Seth Rollins outside the ring. The Usos jump to the outside onto both Seth Rollins and Reigns, which they were about to do early on in the night in the 2-on-2 tag team match, but obviously that got interrupted by Ambrose. And CM Punk then shortly after follows it up with a go to sleep to Ambrose for the cover and wins the match. So Punk and the Usos beat the Shield in a pretty good matchup. Now, that wasn't it for the show, kind of. After that, they showed a video package, or a video of Bray Wyatt cutting a promo on Daniel Bryan, and he was saying now, Daniel Bryan, your words mean nothing to him, and he only listens to his truth, and by that, he means Bray Wyatt's truth, and says that Daniel Bryan now has a home. So, what did I think about this show? Well, right off the bat, this SmackDown was definitely not as good as the prior SmackDown, or the SmackDown of the week before. This one, to be honest, this SmackDown felt like an episode of Superstars, but with main event Superstars, if that makes sense. It felt like the Christmas edition of Raw without the Christmas stuff. And what I mean by that is kind of like, the matches didn't feel important. It didn't feel like a Raw. And that's the thing with SmackDown. Sometimes SmackDown feels, you have a really good SmackDown and it feels just as important as Raw, or almost as important. And then you have these SmackDowns where it just seems like an episode, like I said, of Superstars, but with main event Superstars. As far as like the matches, I like the two tag team matches, the tag team title match and also the main events. But as far as the rest of the matches, they were all okay at best, in my opinion. And it just felt like if you missed the SmackDown, you didn't really miss much in terms of like storyline progression, except for maybe the main event matchup and the tag team title match. When it comes to the main events, that part at the end was a pretty important part where Dean Ambrose didn't want to tag in Reigns. He wanted to make sure he beats Punk himself, and that cost his team the matchup. It kind of furthers the tension within the Shield, and I wouldn't be surprised if they show a replay of that on SmackDown. On Raw. And the tag team title match, this could maybe lead to a rematch between Cody, Goldust, and the Wyatt family. Because the Wyatt family, they were dominating like the entire matchup, or most of it. And the way Cody and Goldust went, it was kind of like, they won by, it was luck. They got lucky. But I like the matchup, and like I said, I like the ending, because it was something new in terms of tag team matches. So, that is pretty much all I gotta say. And as far as a rating for this SmackDown, honestly, I would give it like a 5 on 10. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, as always, you can click that like button down below. And with that said, I'm out, guys. See ya.